Hey guys, my name is Aristotle, and welcome to today's adventure in Banff National Park, one of the most beautiful and iconic places in Canada. From the stunning turquoise waters of Lake Louise and Moraine Lake, to the dramatic mountain views and breathtaking hikes, I'm taking you through the best spots in this UNESCO World Heritage Site. Whether you're here for the winter magic or the summer sunshine, this park has something incredible to offer all year round. In this vlog, we'll explore Johnston Canyon, hike up Sulphur Mountain, visit Lake Minnewanka, and so much more. Watch the video all the way through so that you learn tips for not missing out on visiting Lake Louise and Lake Moraine, and tips for how to save money during your trip. So grab your gear because we're about to dive into the natural wonders of Banff. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Let's go! Let's start at the heart of Banff, Banff Avenue, where the magic begins. It's the main street where everything comes alive. During the summer, the street is closed to cars, so you can walk freely down the avenue, soaking in the views and the vibrant atmosphere. The view of Cascade Mountain at the end of the road is unreal. It looks like a painting. I wandered past cozy shops, local art galleries, and charming restaurants, all with that welcoming small-town vibe. Every corner felt like a perfect photo spot. One of the spots I really enjoyed in Banff was the Cascade of Time Garden. It's right behind the Banff Park Administration building, and honestly, it felt like one of those places most people might walk past without realizing how peaceful it is. As soon as I walked in, I noticed how quiet it was. There were all these well-kept flower beds, little stone paths, and benches tucked into shady corners. It's not a huge garden, but that's what made it feel relaxing, like I didn't need to rush or do too much. I just wandered around, took a few photos, and found a nice spot to sit. You can see Cascade Mountain rising in the background, which makes it feel extra special. The mix of nature and those little garden details, like the old-style lanterns and water features, really made it feel like a hidden gem in town. If you're ever in Banff and want a break from the crowds, this is a perfect place to just breathe and slow things down for a bit. Now we are crossing the Pauw Bridge, a beautiful pedestrian bridge in Banff that spans the Bow River, connecting Central Park to the recreation grounds. It opened in 2022 and was designed to blend into the natural landscape with its sleek timber arch and earthy materials. As we walk across, we're surrounded by stunning views, the Bow River flowing below, Mount Rundle rising in the distance, and forests and mountain peaks all around. It's such a peaceful experience. After crossing, I went to walk close to the river and just took my time watching the sunset reflect off the water. The colors were unreal, and everything felt so calm and still. If you're in Banff, don't skip this walk. It's one of those little gems that make a big impression. I stopped at Surprise Corner Viewpoint, and wow, it truly lived up to its name. From this stunning lookout, I had a breathtaking view of the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, standing majestically like a fairy tale castle nestled in the mountains. Below, the crystal clear Bow River and roaring Bow Falls created such a dramatic and peaceful scene, with the mighty Mount Rundle rising beautifully in the background. It was a magical, picture-perfect spot, definitely one of the most unforgettable views I've seen in Banff. Now we are here at Falls Viewpoint. The falls aren't very tall, but they're wide and powerful, with a beautiful turquoise river rushing over the rocks. From the viewpoint, I could see the Bow River winding through the valley, framed by pine trees and dramatic mountain peaks. It's such a scenic and peaceful spot, perfect for photos or just relaxing and listening to the sound of the water. We are going to start our morning at the stunning Lake Louise, and honestly, it's one of the most breathtaking and unforgettable places I've ever visited. The moment I saw the vibrant turquoise water, I was in awe. It looked like something out of a dream. The color comes from the majestic Victoria Glacier, and with the towering, snow-capped mountains all around, the whole scene felt absolutely surreal. The elegant Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise, sitting right at the edge, made the place feel even more magical and picture-perfect. In the winter, the lake transforms into a peaceful, snow-covered wonderland. I saw people skating, snowshoeing, and just soaking in the calm, magical atmosphere. It was truly beautiful. In the summer, I got to rent a canoe and paddle across the crystal clear waters. And now we are going to explore incredible nearby trails like the Lake Agnes Trail, the Plain of Six Glaciers, and the Big Beehive. Let's go! If you don't have plans to do this hike, it's definitely worth watching. This hike is beautiful and stunning, and the views are truly something you have to see to believe. After taking in the beauty of Lake Louise, I started my hike to Lake Agnes, and it turned out to be such a rewarding adventure. The trail began right near the Fairmont Chateau and gradually climbed through a peaceful forest of pine and spruce. The trail had a few steep sections, but nothing too intense, and every time I looked back, the views of Lake Louise just kept getting better and better. I passed Mirror Lake, a quiet little gem nestled beneath the towering Big Beehive. The reflection of the cliffs on the still water made me pause and soak in the moment. Along the way, we saw stunning waterfalls cascading down the rocks, adding a magical touch to the already beautiful trail. The sound of the water and the cool mist made the hike feel even more refreshing. When I finally reached Lake Agnes, the scenery blew me away. Surrounded by rugged cliffs and dramatic mountain peaks, the lake felt like a peaceful alpine hideaway. Right by the lake was the charming Lake Agnes Teahouse, where you can grab a cup of hot tea and sat by the water, taking in the views. From here, I could have gone back to Lake Louise, but I decided to keep going. I was heading to the Big Beehive. The hike from Lake Agnes to Big Beehive continued to surprise me. As I climbed higher along the switchbacks, the views opened up not only toward the valley, but also back toward Lake Agnes itself. Looking down, the lake looked even more magical from above, like a hidden gem cradled between cliffs. The trail hugged the edge of the mountain in places, making the scenery feel even more dramatic. When I finally reached the top, it felt like stepping into a postcard. Lake Louise shimmered far below in its iconic turquoise color, surrounded by jagged peaks and ancient glaciers. It was one of the most breathtaking views I've ever seen. After spending some time at the summit, I began the next part of my adventure, heading toward the Plain of Six Glaciers. The trail wound down through alpine terrain with fewer crowds and a peaceful silence that felt untouched. Every turn brought fresh views of rugged cliffs and hanging glaciers. As I followed the path, I passed vibrant wildflowers blooming along the trail, bursts of purple, yellow, and white scattered across the green slopes. It added a pop of color to the already incredible landscape, making the hike feel even more alive and beautiful. At one point, we spotted a curious squirrel darting across the trail, pausing just long enough to glance at us before disappearing into the brush. It was such a fun little moment that added to the charm of the hike. I continued as the trail curved around the back of Lake Louise, gradually gaining elevation again. The higher I climbed, the closer I got to the immense wall of ice and rock that gives this trail its name. Eventually, I reached the Plain of Six Glaciers Teahouse, where I took a break, grabbed a cup of tea, and just sat there for a while, soaking in the surroundings. The glaciers towered above, and the ice cracking sounds echoed in the distance. It was the perfect moment to rest, enjoy the calm, and savor the views before continuing the journey. It felt like a serene way to wrap up the adventure. The total hike distance for this entire journey was about 11 miles round trip, which was totally worth the effort for the unforgettable scenery. Then, we began our trek back, knowing we'd just experienced one of the most incredible hikes I've ever done. From Lake Louise to Lake Agnes, Big Beehive, and the Plain of Six Glaciers, this hike was an unforgettable journey filled with stunning views, wildflowers, and a sense of peace that only nature can provide. After Lake Louise, we stopped at one of the most stunning spots in Banff National Park, Moraine Lake. Check out this insane turquoise water. It's so unreal, and it's all thanks to the glacier melt that gives it that vibrant color. Honestly, it looks like something out of a postcard. We actually combined Lake Louise and Moraine Lake on the same day. I'll tell you the reason for that at the end of the video, so stay tuned. I walked closely to the lake, and it was amazing and relaxing, just being so close to the water and surrounded by the stunning scenery. You can rent a canoe and paddle on the crystal clear water, surrounded by towering mountain peaks. It's such a peaceful experience and one of the best ways to take in the beauty of the lake. I highly recommend hiking up the Rockpile Trail for that iconic view of the lake. The hike up takes only about 15 to 20 minutes, but the reward at the top is worth every step. From the top, you get a breathtaking panoramic view of the vibrant turquoise water, surrounded by jagged mountain peaks and the iconic 10 peaks in the background. The view is truly unreal. It's that picture-perfect sight you see in all the famous photos, but it's even more incredible in person. Trust me, it's worth the short climb to take it all in. Now we are here at Johnston Canyon, and it's such an incredible adventure from start to finish. As I began the hike, the path was surrounded by tall trees, and the air was cool and fresh, perfect for an early morning adventure. The sound of rushing water was constant in the background, setting the tone for the journey ahead. The trail was easy to follow and well maintained, and with each step, I felt the excitement build as I got closer to the canyon. The first major stop was the lower Johnston Falls, which took my breath away. The waterfall wasn't just beautiful to look at, it was loud, powerful, and so refreshing. I stood there for a while, taking in the sight of the water crashing down into the gorge. There are catwalks along the canyon that let you get up close to the falls, and I loved how the water splashed up, creating a cool mist that made everything feel even more magical. From the lower falls, I continued up the trail to the upper Johnston Falls. The hike became a bit steeper as I ascended, but the views along the way were absolutely worth it. The canyon walls towered above me with moss-covered rocks and vibrant greenery everywhere. The higher I climbed, the more breathtaking the views became, with waterfalls visible around each corner. When I finally reached the upper falls, I felt like I'd earned the reward. The platform there gave an incredible view of the waterfall plunging down into the canyon. The mist from the waterfall hit my face as I stood there, taking in the power and beauty of nature. It was the perfect place to pause, take some photos, and just enjoy the moment. As I made my way back down, the journey felt just as magical, with the falls still roaring in the distance. I was here also in the winter, and Johnston Canyon in winter is a magical experience. The trail transforms into a serene winter wonderland, with snow-covered trees and quiet, fresh snow underfoot. The waterfalls, usually flowing, are now frozen into stunning ice formations. The lower falls create a beautiful, icy cascade, while the upper falls are surrounded by thick ice, making it feel like nature's artwork. The mist from the falls freezes mid-air, adding to the enchantment. The trail to the upper falls is more challenging in winter, with snow and ice covering the path, but it makes for a beautiful, peaceful hike. The quiet and stillness of the canyon, with only the sound of rushing water beneath the ice, is incredibly calming. I recommend wearing crampons or traction devices on your shoes to safely navigate the slippery sections of the trail. It makes the hike easier and safer, especially on the icy paths. Winter at Johnston Canyon offers a unique and peaceful adventure, with fewer crowds and an unforgettable icy landscape. It's a must-see for anyone looking for a winter wonderland hike. Whether you're a first-time visitor or someone who's been to Banff before, Johnston Canyon offers something special. The combination of lush forest, beautiful waterfalls, and dramatic canyon views made it one of the most memorable hikes I've ever done. It's definitely one I'll return to again. Now we are going to Peyto Lake. During the winter, while we were driving there, we got caught in a snowstorm. It was a good thing we were in a four-wheel drive. It made the journey safer and more manageable through the icy, snow-covered roads. During the summer, from the viewpoint, you get a clear, unobstructed view of the vivid blue lake surrounded by towering mountains and alpine forest. The lake, shaped like a wolf's head, is one of the most iconic sights in the Canadian Rockies, and it's easy to see why. It looks absolutely surreal in the sunlight. In the winter, the trail and the trees were covered in snow, turning the whole area into a beautiful winter wonderland. The short paved path to the Bow Summit viewpoint felt magical, with snow blanketing the ground and frost clinging to the branches. The lake, shaped like a wolf's head, was more subdued beneath the snow-covered peaks. Our next stop is Pauw Lake, one of the most picturesque and easily accessible lakes along the Icefields Parkway in Banff National Park. As I arrive, I am immediately struck by the vibrant turquoise color of the water, especially with the summer sun shining down and the glacial melt feeding into the lake. I walk close to the edge of the lake, where the water is so clear I can see the smooth stones beneath the surface. The cool breeze coming off the lake makes it even more refreshing. The closer I get, the more peaceful it feels. Just the sound of gentle waves lapping against the shore and birds calling in the distance. Along the trail, I see beautiful wildflowers blooming in all colors, purples, yellows, and pinks, adding even more charm to the already stunning landscape. Sitting at about 1,920 meters above sea level, the lake feels peaceful and untouched. I take my time walking around, soaking in the views of Crowfoot Mountain and Pauw Glacier in the background. The calm water perfectly reflects the towering peaks, creating a scene so beautiful it feels unreal. It's the perfect place to pause, relax, and take photos. I find a quiet spot to sit and enjoy the fresh alpine air, feeling totally connected with nature. Right now, I'm at Lake Minnewanka, located in Banff National Park, surrounded by stunning mountain views. The name Minnewanka means water of the spirits, and when I'm by the shore, I definitely feel that magic. You can take a scenic boat cruise around the lake for a new perspective or walk along the Lake Minnewanka trail to enjoy the views. Renting a canoe or kayak is also a peaceful way to explore the calm waters. In winter, the lake transforms into a winter wonderland where I've enjoyed snowshoeing and ice walking. Whether in summer or winter, Lake Minnewanka is a spot I always look forward to visiting. This morning, we are starting our adventure at Sulphur Mountain. At Sulphur Mountain, you can either hike or ride a gondola. I'll do both. I'll hike going up and ride the gondola back down, and I will show what it looks like in summer and in winter. Let's start this journey. Before we start hiking, we stretch first. Hiking Sulphur Mountain is such a memorable experience. The trail starts at the base near the Banff Upper Hot Springs. As soon as I begin, the path winds through a beautiful forest, and even though it's mostly uphill with steady switchbacks, the climb feels peaceful and energizing. Along the way, I find breaks in the trees where I can catch incredible glimpses of the Banff town site, the Pauw Valley, and the surrounding peaks. Hiking Sulphur Mountain in the winter is truly a magical experience. The landscape is transformed into a winter wonderland, with snow-covered trees and stunning white peaks all around. It feels like stepping into a postcard, and every moment is serene and beautiful. As I begin the hike, the trail is covered in a thick blanket of snow, and the air is crisp and refreshing. The path can be slippery in some sections, so I make sure to wear crampons to give me the traction I need and ensure safety along the icy trail. It's a slower and more careful journey, but that's part of the adventure, especially when surrounded by such breathtaking winter beauty. The sounds are so much quieter in the winter, just the crunch of my boots in the snow, and the occasional call of a distant bird. The forest looks even more enchanting with snow resting on the branches, and there's a calmness that's hard to find during the busier summer months. As I ascend, the views become even more stunning. The snow-capped peaks around me seem endless, and I get incredible panoramic views of Banff and the surrounding valleys. The contrast of the deep green of the evergreen trees and the brilliant white snow creates a scene so picturesque that it's hard to believe it's real. When I reach the summit, the atmosphere is peaceful. The snow-covered ground gives the place an ethereal feel, and the silence is almost overwhelming, as though the mountain is holding its breath. The summit boardwalk is just as breathtaking in winter, offering unobstructed views of the frozen landscape below. At the top, I find the impressive glass bear sculpture, which stands proudly against the winter backdrop. The intricate details of the bear, crafted from clear glass, shimmer in the sunlight, adding a touch of artistry to the natural surroundings. It's a unique piece of art that enhances the beauty of the mountain summit. There's also a cozy snow hut where visitors can relax and take in the winter wonderland around them. It's the perfect spot to warm up before continuing the journey or enjoying the peaceful atmosphere. And after all that hiking and exploring, the mountaintop restaurant offers a welcome retreat with stunning views. During the summer, the experience at Sulphur Mountain is nothing short of amazing. At the summit, the views are absolutely breathtaking. Once I reach the top, I'm greeted by a boardwalk that stretches across the mountain ridge, giving me panoramic 360-degree views of the surrounding area. From here, I can see the entire town of Banff, nestled in the valley below, with the Bow River winding through the landscape. The dramatic peaks of Mount Rundle and Mount Cascade dominate the skyline, creating an awe-inspiring backdrop. In addition to the incredible views of the surrounding mountains, forests, and valleys, there's often a refreshing breeze at the summit, which makes the experience feel even more peaceful. The contrast between the vibrant greenery of the forest below and the rugged peaks of the mountains above is stunning, and I can truly appreciate the natural beauty of the Canadian Rockies. There's also a small cafe at the summit where I can relax, grab a drink, and enjoy the views before heading back down. The atmosphere is calm and serene, and it's the perfect spot to take a moment, sit back, and reflect on the adventure. The summit of Sulphur Mountain, with its expansive views and peaceful environment, is an unforgettable highlight of the journey. After spending some time soaking in the stunning views at the summit, it's time to head back down, and I decide to ride the gondola for a different perspective. The gondola ride offers a relaxing and scenic descent, and I get to enjoy the breathtaking landscape from a whole new angle. As I glide down, I can see the vast forest below, the winding trails, and the town of Banff getting smaller and smaller in the distance. The ride gives me a unique opportunity to take in the sweeping views without the effort of hiking back down. It's peaceful and quiet, and I can really appreciate the beauty of the mountains and valleys around me from the comfort of the gondola. Whether it's the lush greenery in summer or the snow-covered landscape in winter, the journey down is just as beautiful as the climb up. It's a perfect way to wrap up the adventure, taking in all the incredible scenery one last time before reaching the base of Sulphur Mountain. After our long hike, we made our way to the Banff Upper Hot Springs, where we could unwind and soak in the stunning mountain views. It was the perfect way to relax and appreciate the beauty of the surrounding peaks. Here's the tips. If you're planning to visit Lake Louise and Moraine Lake between May and October, you'll need a reservation to take the Parks Canada shuttles. This is the only way to access these amazing lakes during that time. I'll include the link in the description where you can reserve your tickets. Also, if you want to save some money, consider staying at a hotel in Canmore. It's usually cheaper than staying in Banff. Plus, it's only about a 25-minute drive to Banff National Park. While you're in Canmore, you can also explore its charming sights. One must-see spot is the Canmore Engine Bridge, a historic railway bridge from the early 1900s. Walking across the bridge, I can see the stunning Bow River flowing beneath me and the majestic mountains all around. The view is absolutely breathtaking, especially with the peaceful water and towering peaks in the background. It's a perfect place to take a relaxing walk, snap beautiful photos, and just enjoy the amazing scenery. And that wraps up our amazing journey through the breathtaking nature of Banff National Park. Thank you for coming along. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next adventure.